In fact, I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Every time I tell somebody, oh, I'm an introvert, they're like, no, that's not possible. You have a whole YouTube channel. What does that have to do with anything? I've experienced so much negativity, even though this internship was just 3 months. My manager told me that one of my problems was that I didn't know how to have fun. And he was right, because some colleagues are truly out there to squash your destiny. Oh my gosh. I've never been pushed that hard in my life. So people are looking at you saying, oh, hey, how you doing? Real quick, who do you have for Wi-Fi at home? That's really embarrassing to do. There were times when I really wanted to quit. The joke is on me. Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Okay, I know I've been away for a while and I'm just thinking about how long it has been since I uploaded an actual sit down video. It's been too long, and honestly I'm going to miss doing vlogs, but hey, this is my forte. Okay, I thrive when it comes to commentary and just talking. Okay, so in today's video, I am going to be detailing how my internship went. Like I said, I haven't done a sit-down video in a while, so I just felt like it would be best for me to come back with this one, considering that my internship just ended and I'm back to school for my second year of my master's degree. And I'm going to reference a video that I made before this one on how I got my job and everything as an international student. I'll link it here, and it's also going to be in the description box, so you can watch that one before you watch this one, because I made that one sometime in, I think, April or May-ish. So I've been getting a couple of questions from people about how my internship went, and I've been kind of dropping details here and there, but I never really took the time to make a proper video on it, and that's why I'm making this one. So before we get into it though, please give this video a thumbs up. Please also subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. I'm just going to start by giving random points, okay? This is in no particular order. I would say that my first few weeks at work were very crazy, because I'm telling you that this office, the dynamics of this office is nothing like your regular 9 to 5. It's nothing like it at all. So it was really crazy. I was sort of like in an environment where it was like a locker room. I won't say locker room environment. It's not like the office was like a locker room. It's just the atmosphere was like a locker room. You know, there's loud music playing because they want to keep people awake. And man, it was a lot. And me, I'm an introvert, so when I start seeing too much noise around me, around people that I don't know, you know, in a work setting, it just throws me off completely, because it's like, okay, what is this? First of all, I'm not the type to talk to people and all that stuff. I'm just always on my own, you know. So being thrust into that kind of environment just really threw me off. It was really crazy for me for the first couple of weeks, but towards the end, it actually started to make a lot of sense. So the first thing that I really wanted to get out of that internship, and this is one of the upsides of it, is getting out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't talk to people that much. I'm pretty much always to myself when I'm in public, you know, unless I'm with my friends or people that I actually know, but I'm pretty much always to myself. And this particular job required me to get out of my comfort zone, because what we're doing was direct sales. Now, direct sales is very, bro, you make money. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. You make okay money if you know how to do it, you know. But it's very difficult, because you're going to be working on a campaign, and it's not like office kind of setting where everybody's behind the laptop and stuff like that. You're going to talk to people face to face. It's like doing door-to-door sales, except you're not going to people's houses, you're just going to stores. So we have contracts with Walmart stores or some Kroger's, depending on whose office you're in, because there's lots of branches all over the country. Like when we're in Ohio, you do Kroger's, you go to Kroger's. We don't do Walmarts in Ohio. In St. Louis, we do Walmarts. In let's say Minnesota, Wisconsin, we do Walmarts. So it just depends on the state you're in. Anyway, you go to the stores, you set up your podium, everything, and then you just start pitching people, like start talking to people. And you know why it's so difficult? Because you actually have to form a genuine conversation and a genuine bond with the people you're talking to. So now compare that to me being an introvert and just not wanting to talk to anybody. It was really hard. Like my first day, I think I spoke to like maybe 10 people, and you're there for like 6 hours. So, man, it was just so crazy. Anyway, so that's what we were doing. And the campaign we're working on was for Spectrum. So, Spectrum is an internet service provider. And recently, they also rolled out their mobile service and whatnot. They also have their TV packages, all that stuff. So, different businesses or different businesses or different owners around the country have their own campaigns that they're working on. But right now, I think the biggest one they are working on is with Spectrum. The way the business is set up is that you come in as an account executive. You come in as, I don't want to say an intern. Like, it's very difficult trying to explain this to somebody that is not in the business or to an audience of Nigerians. But you come in as an account executive, and then you have to hit your goals of doing 8 customers in 1 week. So once you do 8 customers in 1 week, or actually 2 weeks back to back, because you have to show consistency, then in the next week you get promoted. And that's why I got promoted, because I did 8 customers. Now when you get promoted, you become an account manager, and that means you're taking on more responsibility. You're now training people, you're building your own team, you're building your own crew, that kind of thing. When you're an account executive, the standard is just to at least do 1 customer a day, at least 1 customer a day. When you become an account manager, your standard is to do 2 customers in a day. So doing 2 customers means ringing your bell. So you have to ring your bell every day. That's the standard, you know. It's such a challenging thing to do, because not only are you, talking to people every day who do not want to talk to you. Trust me, nobody wants to talk to salespeople. Okay, we are annoying as hell, and nobody wants to talk to us. That was actually one of the one of our impulse factors. They always said try to be indifferent. If you're indifferent about it, just act like you don't care, and people will be more likely to want to buy from you. But once you start to be salesy, once you start to like be pushy and whatnot, then nobody wants to talk to you, then you're not going to get a sale. And the way the business is, like, they put this mentality in you that you just have to win, because we're in the field from like 12 p.m. till 6 p.m. So when you're in the field all day for 6 hours and you don't get a sale, it's like, it's so saddening. It's really sad. So yeah, they kind of instilled this mentality in me of just wanting to win every single day, and that was the mentality that everybody else had. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So in fact, throughout the entire program, you just have to keep getting promoted. You don't have a choice. Like, it's not as if, oh, I don't want to be you don't have a choice. You're going to be promoted, even if you're an intern. That's how it is, and that's what I love the most about it. There was no office politics. There was no, oh, this person is older than you. I had a leader. I was like, I think 5 years older than my leader. Nothing like office politics, nothing like, oh, this person is older than you, no seniority, none of that bullshit. So that's kind of what it was like. Now I want to talk about some of the skills that I gained. Whenever I tell people that I am an introvert, they just automatically assume that I'm a shy person. I'm not necessarily shy. Just being an introvert does not always equate shyness, but there's just this factor of not being comfortable around people that you don't know. You just lock up when you're with people you don't know. Every time this is just a sidebar, right? Every time I tell somebody, oh, I'm an introvert, they're like, no, that's not possible. You have a whole YouTube channel, and so what does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with anything? Anyway, that's besides the point. So some of the skills that I got better at was public speaking, because you are talking to strangers every single day and just being a goofball in the field. We call the stores that we go to the field, right? The field is not necessarily outside or in the streets. It's just being in the stores. Now, in the field, there's this thing we say, the biggest fool makes the most money, something like that. And that just means that you just have to go there, play, have a good time, learn how to have fun. I kid you not, my manager told me that one of my problems was that I didn't know how to have fun. That was my problem, and he was right. So I'm just saying, you have to talk to strangers, and like when the stores are full, a lot of people are there, so people are looking at you saying, oh, hey, how you doing, real quick, who do you have for Wi-Fi at home? That's really embarrassing to do. It's especially as a Nigerian that is very reserved, laid back, all that stuff. That thing is so embarrassing. Like, I remember my first day, I was just like, I don't want to talk to these people. It's embarrassing. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's basically how it goes. It just taught me how to be more bold and how to speak to people in public. Usually when you are outspoken in public, especially in a place like Nigeria, people look at you like, oh my god, like you're actually talking, but here, well, I guess here it's not really that big of a deal because first of all, Americans have, I don't know if they're born with it, but they just naturally speak very loudly. I don't know why, but that's their thing. You're not going to look out of place if you're speaking loudly to people at Walmart. But because everybody knows that, oh, you're a Spectrum person, they can already see your pod, they can see your stand, they can see your banners, they can see your collaterals, all that stuff. Then they're going to be like, oh, this person is trying to sell something. And it's like you're doing your job in front of everybody. That's the part that becomes so embarrassing. But I actually got really good at it by just being a fool in the field and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. That was like my biggest goal because I was really uncomfortable. In fact, I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Another thing that I learned how to do better, this might seem like it's not a big deal, but it's actually driving, right? I started being more confident on the road. Even till now, like I would assume it's just that America is very different, states are very different. So driving in one state is not necessarily the same as driving in another state because road rules might be different. But in general, for like a state in Missouri, I don't think there's anywhere I will go now in Missouri that I'll be scared to drive because I don't know the road and whatnot. It just made me more confident because when you're going to the field, because first of all, we go to the office first from like 9 a.m. ish. You have to be at work. So from 9 to like 11:30 ish, we're in the office, we're practicing. They'll teach you how to do a pitch. They'll teach you how to, build a package. So the office is where we do all of that stuff. Do you get? So when we go to the field, then the field is where you learn what you've done in the office. So you're not just doing things like for the sake of doing them. You're doing them in the office because you're actually going to use them when you get to the field. After the office, we go to the field from like 11:30, 11:45. So we get to the field around 12, and that's when we stay from 12 till 6. Now, you have to drive to the field, right? Some people have cars, some people don't have cars. But people that don't have cars, they typically ride with other people, or other people will pick them up and drop them off, all that stuff. In America, almost everybody has a car because you need one. It's not even a luxury, it's a need. It taught me to be more confident on the road because prior to going to St. Louis, because St. Louis is a fairly bigger city than where I stay right now in Rolla. Rolla is very quiet, it's very small, so it's just mostly local roads unless you're going somewhere significant. Then you go to the freeway or you go to the expressway or the highway. And prior to that, I didn't really have any experience driving in a big city because bigger cities you have more crazy people, you have more people who don't obey road rules. So it was really scary for me. But this job actually helped me to get out of my comfort zone because when I drive to work every day, I mean, you guys were watching my vlogs, so you would see how I'd be driving to work to the point where I even just knew the route. I stopped using my map. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but trust me, if you were driving in Nigeria where things are very lawless and you come to a new country where you have to follow all the road rules. I'm not saying that I was a rule breaker when I used to drive in Nigeria. I definitely wasn't. But just acclimatizing to a new environment is very stressful. So that was such a huge win for me. Another thing I learned was learning how to negotiate, learning how to do sales, learning how to be more confident, and just learning how to take no's. Okay, because you get a million no's in the field before you get that one or two yeses. And learning how to take no's would the way it will build your thick skin for you because you see people like they put a hand in your face. You know that's really disrespectful. Like when you're trying to talk to somebody and they actually put a hand in your face. It's very, very disrespectful to the point where you want to cuss some people out, but you just have to be professional. You have to take it on the chin like a champ. You have to just brush it off. Well, in fact, when you meet people who are trying to be negs, being a neg just means like being negative. If you meet somebody who's trying to be a neg, the best thing for you to do is just do a 180 and start talking to someone else because you don't want anybody to dampen your mood. The minute people notice that your attitude is bad, they're not going to want to talk to you. One of the things I also learned was learning how to safeguard my attitude and not letting things get to me so easily because, oh my gosh, people are rude and mean and they will test you. And yeah, like you also put yourself in their shoes because you have to understand that some of these people are working, their parents, their moms, their dads, and they just want to come to Walmart to do some shopping. They didn't come to Walmart to think about an extra 50, 60, 70, 80, $100 that they were going to pay for internet. So you kind of have to be more empathetic towards them. I mean, they have their own stuff going on for them. So it was just one of those things. Just helped me to build some kind of thick skin and have a better attitude. So now tiny tiny things don't phase me anymore. It's just like I would laugh in the faces of them because I've seen and I've experienced so much negativity. Even though this internship was just 3 months, I've experienced so much negativity from strangers to the point where it just doesn't phase me anymore. But something else that I learned, this is one of the upsides of my internship, was just learning how to solve problems. Now whenever you're trying to build a package for somebody, or let's say you're trying to set them up for a mobile line, like how you set people up for maybe MTN, Airtel, Glow, all that stuff. So here we have different providers as well. There's Spectrum, there's AT&T, there's T-Mobile, there's Verizon, there's Boost, there's Metro, there's what else? There's Visible, there's Pure Talk. There's so many. So there are different processes to helping people do it, and that was what's kind of what we were doing, you know. So if you're trying to help someone do a phone line now or something, and something is just not working somewhere in the system, it helps you to think quick on your feet, and not just for the sake of it, but because the person you're with has other things to do. They're on a time crunch. You know, they didn't walk into that store thinking they're going to talk to you. Do you understand? So you have to think quick on your feet, because first of all, not only are you trying to hurry up, you're also trying to make sure that you close out that sale so you can make money. Okay, money is like it's one of people's biggest motivators when it comes to going to the field, because it's sales, right? It's an uncapped commission structure. So let's say you make up to $1,000 a week or $2,000 a week, you're going to get that $2,000. There is no cap to your commission, right? And let's say you don't make enough commissions, there's still a safety net. But I'm not going to go into all that because that's company information. So the way the system is set is like you're actually in charge of your own paycheck. There are people who were actually getting nothing less than 1,000 a week. So it's very, very lucrative. Like the opportunities there are massive. It's just that you have to put in the work, and the work, you know how people say the American dream and working hard, it just sounds like roses and whatnot when people are saying it. When you are thrust into that situation, oh my god, oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, the benefits are great though. To be honest with you, I wasn't making that much money because I just wasn't that good of a salesperson. Okay, it wasn't really my thing. Like, I mean, I could do it, but maybe I just wasn't working hard enough, if I'm being honest with you. So another thing that this job taught me is networking. Knowing how to network with people. We used to go on business trips. Like I used to make vlogs and we'd go on business trips and all that. So I will link some of them in the description box so you guys can watch them. Those business trips were not just for going to have fun. I know I was always showing the parts where we're going out and having a good time. That's not all it is. Oh, that was not all it was. I explained the types of business trips that we had. So there's satellite trips, and then there is also what's it called, office trips. So for office trips, obviously you go to another office, you meet new people, you talk to them, you know your struggles and talk to people who can help you out with your struggles, and you basically meet other owners of the business. You know, like there are different owners all over or let's say senior executives all over the country. So you meet with them, you talk to them, you know, have a good time. There are people who were very, very, or who are very, very successful in the business, and it's just an opportunity for you to get to know them. So that's the networking you do for office trips. So it's great, you know. And also they would even organize calls, like Zoom calls with other people, like other owners, other promoting owners, other let's say national consultants or something in the company. Have them come speak to you about the most basic things. Like I've never seen, maybe I'm talking out of ignorance, but I've never seen a job where they actually organize Zoom calls to talk to people about learning how to have good habits, meal prep, go to the gym, eat healthy, iron your clothes, invest in your looks, stuff like that. That's some of the things that we were talking about in those Zoom calls. And it is an opportunity, because not everybody gets the opportunity to learn from people who have actually gone through what you're going through to be successful. And this is the amazing thing about the business, is that people who are already like national consultants or senior executives or promoting owners, those are like people at the top. Nobody got there by just I don't know, by virtue of nepotism or something like that. Everybody has to start from the same level. Everybody that you've spoken to, that's the amazing thing. They all started from the same level of being an account executive. Because how are you going to advise other people if you haven't been in their shoes before? Does that make sense? That was one of the most beautiful things. So networking with people like that, you just know that they understand your struggles because they have actually been through it. And there's proof, like there's videos of them in their, past years of how they were doing sales. And that's one of the like biggest things I really took away, just learning how to talk with people who are already in your shoes and just networking in general. So yeah, I also mentioned satellite trips. So satellite trips are just like you go to an Airbnb. The Airbnb is basically your office for the week, and then you guys have your morning meeting there, you do pitch practice there, everything there, and from there you go to the field. That's it. So satellite trips are usually more chill, but people prefer satellite trips in general because they're just more, relaxing, relaxing, and you have more time in the field, which means you're going to make more money. So I know I've gone through a couple of things in this video, and the video is kind of here and there, but I want to detail how the process of the job actually is, like how you get promoted and stuff like that. So first of all, you start off as an account executive, then you get to account manager, then you get to junior executive, then you get to senior executive, and then at the senior executive stage, that's when you can open up your own office. So from the account executive to account manager to junior executive, there you're still doing sales, you're still learning negotiation skills, you're building your own team. Once you become an account manager, you're building your own team. And then there are different goals for different stages. I'm not going to get into all of them, but the thing is, once you hit those goals, you're getting promoted. And the goals they're not impossible. They're difficult, granted, but they're not impossible. And that's one of the things I really liked about the place. It just will challenge you a lot. Oh my gosh, it will push you. It will push you so hard. Like I've never been pushed that hard in my life before. And it was truly an experience because there were times when I really wanted to quit. As in, I wanted to just say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. But I had to stay. Where was I going to get another job from? I had to stay. And I'm actually glad I stayed. I'm glad I didn't quit because now I miss them so much. And the joke is on me. So you get to your own office, you open up your own office in wherever part of the country you want to open it up in, and you take on any campaign that you want to take on. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Spectrum or have to be internet. It could be something else. But most people just go the Spectrum route because that's one of the most lucrative ones in the business. When you first come, they give you like a COD. Oh, Jesus, what a COD? Cycle of development. Yeah, it's like a whole document kind of thing. So you have to go through each and every one of those things. It's like different steps in the training program. So you have to learn it, it by heart, all that stuff. They quiz you on it. They ingrain the information into you. It's like they plant it inside you so that by the time you get to the next stage, you are going to teach someone else. Because how are you going to teach someone if you don't know what it is? Yeah, you have people who are going to help you complete your COD. It's not like they're going to give it to you and say, hey, go figure this out by yourself. There are trainers everywhere. Everybody's around. So you are able to, ask someone for help, or they are able to just teach you, tell you what it is. I want to go over a couple of job tips that I think a lot of people need to know. First of all, it's the fact that, and now take this advice with a grain of salt, okay? You don't necessarily have to be the best at your job. Just be likable. This particular job, though, you have to be the best, though. So, see, I'm just telling you because the other work settings might not be like this one I'm explaining. Because I wasn't the best. I'm not even shitting you here. I was not the best. I was not the best salesperson, right? I was fairly average, keeping my head above water. In fact, I would even go as far as saying I was a little below average. But hey, I need to give myself credit for at least working hard, because even if I wasn't coming in with sales, my numbers will always show you that I'm a hard worker. I talk to people, I tab people. And oh my gosh, I didn't talk about this part. So how they determine how hard you've worked in the field is by knowing how many people you've spoken to, how many people you've gotten to the tab. That's like getting their address and their zip code to check if they can actually get Spectrum where they live, because it's internet. So we need to be able to know if you can get it in your area before we even try to set you up with it or sign you up for it. So the standard is talk to at least 100 people a day. tab 25 people, get 8 serviceable people. Serviceable people just means that they don't have spectrum. So that means they can get spectrum where they live. And then get them to the closing line. I think get about what's it? 4 closing lines or 3 closing lines, and then you do like 1 for 1 or 2 for 2 productions just means that you've closed the sale out. So we do it in tallies, right? You tally everybody that you've spoken to, and what determines how hard you've worked is your number of tabs, because it's very difficult to get people to actually stop, talk to you, get their zip code and get their address, because they're talking to strangers. I'm not going to go out and give a random stranger my address and my, like, I could give you my zip code but not my address. That's personal information. Some people are very, they're very they feel weird about giving that stuff out, and rightly so. And that's the difficult part, because you have to build enough trust with them to get them to the tab. So I say all this to say that, yeah, I wasn't the best at like actually closing out sales and doing productions, but I was a hard worker because I work really hard. And if I do say so myself, I would think I was likable in the office, because I captured everybody's hearts with my food. It's not like I was doing that in a manipulative way. That's just a me thing. That's just how I am. I tend to warm up around people that I'm comfortable with, or people that I feel like my spirit kind of gels with them. So you don't necessarily have to be the best at your job. Strive to be the best, but also be very likable. Your social currency is so important. The next thing I want to talk about is soft skills, right? Social skills. In a country like America, I don't know how it works in other countries though, because other countries might be a little bit more conservative, and I use that term very loosely, more conservative than America. America is they're overly friendly, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but they want to be like all up in your business, like know about you and just talk to you and, oh, how you doing? Like you can actually walk past a stranger on the road and they ask you how you doing, and they genuinely expect an answer like, oh yeah, I'm good, how you doing, that kind of thing. Like they would acknowledge each other just by virtue of being in the same space or being in the elevator together. People just make small talk conversation, stuff like that. So in an office setting, what you want to do is be very personable and have soft skills. Now that's one area I struggled with in the beginning, because I'm an introvert and I don't like talking to people that much, but I had to do it, because guess what, that's what takes you far, your social currency. And like I said, this business, like, whether if you've hit your goals, you're going to get promoted. If you did not hit your goals, you're not going to get promoted. So I wasn't necessarily doing it because of, oh, maybe I can get like a favor here and there. You're not going to get any favors. Like it's strictly business. Everybody's nice, everybody's friendly, but it's still strictly business. You're not getting favors from anybody. So just learning that social skills and being personable really, really helped me. And now I'm less of, well, I wouldn't say less of an introvert. Like I would interact with people when I have to. If I don't have to, I'm not going to. But if I have to, I'm definitely going to, because social skills and soft skills are very, very valuable. The final things, just working hard and making friends. I said this in one of my vlogs that I'm not one of those people who believes that you can make friends or you can be friends with your colleagues. I know, take this advice with a grain of salt, okay, because some colleagues are truly out there to squash your destiny. But I feel like if you actually have genuine friends that you've made a genuine connection with at work, stick with them. These people are people you spend most of your time with, like 8 out of 24 hours in a day where you're not sleeping, you're at work. You're spending at least 40 hours a week with some of them or more. So it's not necessarily a bad thing if some of them become your close friends. And maybe I say this from a very optimistic point of view, because I've been opportuned to be friends with people that I've worked with. So I don't necessarily think it's out of place to be friends with your coworkers. People would advise against it. Like I said, take the advice with a grain of salt. It's not like you're going to be friends with every single person. You could just be maybe 1 or 2 people and you guys could be super tight. Use the opportunity wherever you are. Just make friends with people that are genuine, like that's making friends is part of how you build communities. It's not necessarily about what that person can do for you or what you can do for them. Yeah, at the end of the day, friendship is still one of those transactional things. It's still a relationship that's sometimes transactional, but learning how to build a community of people who can just be there for you and you can be there for them, because human beings are human beings. We don't want to live in isolation. So be more open-minded to making friends. And like I said, take this advice with a grain of salt. And finally, just work super hard as you can. as hard as you can because, bruh. Anyway, I don't need to really stress on this. Nigerians are naturally hardworking people, so I'm sure you guys will be fine. But that's everything. I hope I was able to cover it. I know somebody asked me one time what are the ups and downs. The ups, I've already listed all the ups because I've gained so many skills that I'm going to take into my next job and my next, role and all that stuff. And the downsides, in quotes, were just me coming out of my comfort zone. Okay. And I'm out of my comfort zone, I'm above it, and I feel like I've actually grown. So that's all I have for you for this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you have any questions, leave them there for me. I try to answer all the comments or reply all the comments. And yeah, let me know what you think. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.